Some stories stay with you. The ones that make you glance over your shoulder, check the doors locked a second time, or laugh a little too loudly in the dark. That's the world of Kill Me Maybe. Every month, hosts Mac and Des unravel true crime, strange mysteries, and eerie tales that linger long after the episode ends. They're the ghouls next door, not detectives, but sharp enough to ask the questions and cheeky enough to keep it fun. Spooky season never ends here. Subscribe to Kill Me Maybe wherever you get your podcasts. Mac and Des are waiting, and you don't want to keep them waiting. Canadian Creepies is recorded on the traditional lands of the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe peoples, under the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Agreement. These lands and waters have been cared for since long before Canada existed, and they remain deeply important to Indigenous communities today. As we tell stories about darkness, injustice, and memory, I want to acknowledge the very real histories of colonization, violence, and erasure that Indigenous peoples continue to endure. A land acknowledgement can't undo that harm, but it is a reminder to keep listening, learning, and supporting in truth and reconciliation in meaningful ways. We share these stories not to forget, but to shine light, always with respect for peoples and nations whose land we live on. Canadian Creepies covers true crime, dark history, and disturbing events. Some episodes may include graphic descriptions or sensitive subject matter. We do our best to handle every story with care and respect for those affected. That said, we sometimes use humor and sarcasm as a way to process heavy content, never to disrespect victims, survivors, or their families. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Canadian Creepies. I'm Valerie.
And I'm Amanda Joy.
From Down the Crooked Path. This is Canadian Creepies. Welcome.
Welcome to the Creep Show.
I love that. Today we are doing some of Canada's Canada's unsolved mysteries.
Yeah.
Canada's most riveting unsolved mysteries. And I hate to bring it up again, but I'm gonna.
Did you forget?
No.
Lost
I had
the word?
a brain fart.
The word was temporarily
But the chat
missing.
GPT blunder last week. So this week, I haven't scripted anything. We're just straight up reading from a Reader's Digest article.
Two theater kids just going balls to the walls.
We're going in. And there's, like, these are pretty cool, so a lot of them. And
I did kind of go in and read more in depth in some of them.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, the list here is quite extensive, so
Yeah.
I wasn't able to. Time was against me.
yes. So it might be a two-parter, but it might not be, because the ones at the end are, like, kind of short.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's any of these you want us to dig further into, there's one for sure I'm going to dig further into.
There's some that I already saw were on my list. There was one at least that I saw I've already done an episode on with the Tuesday segments.
Yes. So we can refer, you guys can, if you want more. That's why I did it, because I was like, some of these we've kind of covered. It's just we're doing a fun episode. So sometimes I get too serious with the politics, and I know that. And this podcast isn't supposed to be all that.
And then there's
I gotta
me.
leave room for fun.
And I'm just like, tell me the scary stuff.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
weird.
like,
I love
and then they lost their right to vote.
it. Dun, 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 dun. That is scary, though. That is
It
a scary
scary.
concept.
The other day was National Persons Day. Does everybody know what that is? Do you know what that is?
Enlighten us, my friend.
Okay.
There's got to be some politics. It's you.
Yeah, it's me. I have to incorporate something. Okay, so 3 days ago, what was 3 days ago? So 2019. So October 18th. On this day in 1929, the famous Five won the persons case, affirming that women are persons under Canadian law.
That's fucked up that we were not persons.
We were people. We love that. Persons Day reminds us how this milestone helped shape Canadian society as reflected in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, including sections 15 and 28, which guarantee equality for all. We celebrate the courage of the famous Five and their lasting impact on gender equality in Canada. So shout out to the famous Five for getting...
Let's recap. When did the famous Five do this?
1929. So
okay, that's actually later than
like
I thought it was
100 years ago. 96 years ago.
Spousal rape, the right to have a bank account was...
that at math. Yeah, you're right.
It was very, very... It's more recent than you think that we were
couldn't have a credit card till the 70s, I think.
Yeah, it was the 70s. Spousal rape was still allowed, I think, up until the 90s, actually, we're
going to look into this. Hold on. So we're starting with, what was the first one? Credit cards.
Credit cards.
I'll go women and credit cards, Ontario.
Ooh, yes, because there's a lot of discrepancy between us, the different provinces, and the states. Mm-hmm. Because that was around this, it was all kind of...
Guess what? Google thought I wanted to apply for a credit card.
Of course it did. Now you're going to get credit card ads all over your social media.
No one will accept me. Okay. In Ontario, this is the Google AI overview, which can sometimes be wrong, but here we go.
I like to correct it when it's wrong, too. And it'll be like, thank you for correcting me.
Yeah. Okay. In Ontario and across Canada, women were denied credit cards in their own name before the mid-1970s. A married woman needed her husband to co-sign, while a single woman often couldn't get a card at all. This changed with the passage of the U.S. Equal Credit... Oh, okay. It makes sense. Hold up. Don't doubt yourself, Valerie. The U.S. Equal Credit Opportunity Act of 1974 and similar changes followed in Canada with the Canadian Human Rights Act of 1977, which prohibits discrimination based on sex. This gave women the legal right to open credit accounts in their own name regardless of marital status. Before the mid-1970s, banks frequently denied credit cards to single women and required a husband's signature for married women. And some banks would discount a woman's income by as much as 50% when calculating her credit limit based on the assumption she might stop working after marriage. And even when women had their own income, their ability to control their own finances was limited because they often couldn't open accounts or get credit without a man's permission.
They couldn't get bank accounts. They couldn't get mortgages.
No. These were like our grandmas. Straight up.
Yeah. Yep.
These women were birthing children, growing humans, but couldn't get a credit card. Rude.
They were making eyeballs.
And that's the first Canadian creepy of the episode. Ooh.
There is a penis growing in my stomach and I can't get a credit card.
So you're telling me I can grow a penis that can get a credit card.
But I'm not allowed to get one.
Yeah.
I can't get a mortgage.
She should have went in just pregnant. Just pregnant with a boy.
Can he sign for me from in
straight
vitro?
Up? Ooh. He's speaking through me. My mom can have a card.
That kick was a consent form.
One kick equals consent. Okay, who wants to start, me or you?
Doesn't matter to me. I'm good either way.
Well, I kind of like this one, so I'll start.
All right.
So these are 15 unsolved Canadian mysteries. So if you know anything about it, reach out to the appropriate authorities, I guess. The first one is referred to as the missing theater magnate. On December 1st, 1919, Ambrose Small, what a name.
Right? It sounds like he should be, like, I know he's a theater magnate, like he had theaters and stuff, but I feel like he would be like the ringleader in a circus. Like I picture him with like a top hat and the coat with the tails.
And like a curly mustache.
Yes!
Yeah. Ambrose Small. So he was a Toronto theater owner and he sold the bulk of his empire to a Montreal company for $1.7 million. See, this is why I say if you want something done, always ask a French Canadian.
I think we said that in the last episode we did together, too.
It's something I say, and it's a phrase that I'm trying to coin. The sale itself, well, because I don't speak French, they need a reason to like me. The sale itself was not suspicious, given the growing popularity of moving pictures. Okay, so it was a moving picture theater.
Yeah.
Got it.
No, I think it was like performing theaters, and then moving pictures was becoming big then.
Okay.
So it was kind of like he was competing for business with them, and yeah.
Gotcha. Small had decided to divest himself before it was too late. There you go. Yep. The next day, he and his wife, Teresa, together deposited the money. On the street, they parted ways, Small promising to be home by dinner, but he never arrived. Small had a reputation for carousing, and Teresa waited 2 weeks to report his absence. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So she was like, okay, I'll see you at home. And he was like, yep, I'll see you at home. And she was like, he's not coming home, is he?
Yeah, from what I read about him, he had like, all of his theaters had like secret little rooms. Oh. And he would...
Is he gay?
No, he was a womanizing asshole.
Oh, I was just thinking with a name like Ambrose.
So like his drag name or stage name?
Yeah.
His
drag name is Rose.
I like that.
Yeah. And I only think that, truthfully, I'm thinking I'm aligning Ambrose and gay because of the show, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. That's why I'm doing that.
Oh, yeah, his
Ambrose.
name was Ambrose. That's so sad that he's dead now.
That's terribly sad.
It was devastating.
He's lovely.
He was
fantastic actor. He had a voice like chocolate milk. That's not what I meant.
But
it was just like a deep, rich voice.
Yeah, it was, and smooth.
Smooth, yes.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and he die in Toronto or on his way to Toronto to film for Gen V. Something like, yeah, he was on a motorcycle. I think it was he was either crossing the border to get, I think they were filming in Toronto because I'm pretty, The Boys is filmed in Toronto and Gen V is like their side show.
Oh, okay.
And I think he was on his way to Toronto and he was either in Toronto or at the border. I can't remember those details. But yeah, he was in a motorcycle accident and died on his way to filming. And
that's so sad.
Yeah, I was devastated when I heard that news. He had nude. My goodness.
Wow.
I was like, he was one of those up and coming actors that I was like, he's
great.
He's gonna have such an awesome career.
Totally, I love him.
It's like when Elton Yitch died too.
What one was he?
He was in Star Trek. When we were doing the White Boy Posse episodes, I talked about the movie The Green Room. He was in that too.
Okay.
Yeah. He was a young actor. Odd Thomas, he was in. You would know him to see him.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I believe that I would. Okay. Back to the story.
We get sidetracked.
We do. Today, so Teresa waited 2 weeks to report Ambrose's absence. Today, the potential killers sound like players in a murder mystery game. Wife Teresa, a fixture in Toronto society. Small's money-grubbing sisters with no other source of income. The disgruntled secretary, and at least one mistress. There was even a possibility of a gangster hit, given Small's substantial gambling habit.
So when I read up on this one, the wife was suspected more recently. I think she died in 1935. And then the police were like, let's reopen this case a year later. And they were like, it was the wife. But there was no real evidence that pointed towards her. And then the secretary was actually a guy. His name was John Dudley. I don't think that's the right last name. But he went missing the very next day after Ambrose did. And they eventually found him in the States, and he had stolen $100,000 in bonds from Ambrose. So my money
is follow the money.
It's on the secretary. Although he was never charged with murdering Ambrose or Ambrose's disappearance or anything like that. He was just charged with theft of the bonds. And then they suspected the sister because years after all of this, there was this weird anonymous letter by this guy Rutkin or something like that, that a private detective received that was like, you would be surprised to know that I did this and was hired by like the sister, but there was no, they
evidence.
have no idea who this person who wrote it actually was or anything.
Right.
So it's, like I said, my money's on the secretary.
Yes.
My money's on the money.
Yeah, that's right. Put your money on the money. But if suspects were plenty, the investigation was clumsy at best. This was a different era. This was a different era of policing, says Katie Dobbs, author of The Missing Millionaire, the true story of Ambrose Small and the city obsessed with finding him. At that time, police mostly patrolled the streets and successfully solved crimes by being present when they happened. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A series of private investigators tried their luck at cracking the case. So did clairvoyants and cryptographers. Theories multiplied, and the tabloids made a meal of every false lead, including a deathbed confession from Teresa, later deemed a forgery. Ultimately, neither Small nor a culprit was ever found, and in 1960, the Toronto police officially closed the case. Well, they never found a body. He could have just changed his identity, I guess.
I think they declared him legally dead by, I think it's absentia or something like that. And it basically means like there was absolutely no sign of life that they could find anywhere. So he's presumed dead.
He's presumed dead, yeah.
Kind of like Amelia Earhart. Like they are presuming that the plane crashed and she didn't survive. So in all likelihood, she's dead. So I think that was kind of what they were going
But in that
off
time,
of.
it was super easy to like change your name.
Yeah, there was no digital trail.
Yeah, there's no digital trail. He could have just went out east and started a new family in Nova Scotia.
I mean, he was a womanizer.
Thank you. He could have just knocked someone up and went, "Hey, I'm going with you."
That was my grandpa.
Okay.
Like, literally, I have cousins I have never met. My mom has siblings she's never met. He cheated on my grandma and got with her best friend and had a kid with her and then moved out east.
My Lord.
Right? Yeah.
A scandal.
When he died, my mom was like, meh.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That was common back then, too, for people to behave that way. So, he could have just...
Poor, and you wonder why women... Wow.
The only flaw with that is he left all the money.
Yeah. Well, he went to go make more money. Because it was so easy for men to make money then.
It was.
It was just, he just went, if he was a construction worker, he just went, he built another boat. He just went and worked on another boat.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
He just hopped a ship. No big deal.
Peace.
Now you need credentials and certifications just to be near a boat.
And then you get paid less than minimum wage. They're like, this is an entry-level job. We want you to have 6 years experience.
Yeah, okay.
And we're going to pay you less than entry-level funds.
You're like, love this.
This is great economy. All right. You guys are probably familiar with this one, the empty money pit of Oak Island.
Oh, yes. I was like, I'm not familiar with this one, but I am.
This is one of my least favorite Canadian mysteries. I think just because the show.
It's been, what is it, like 11 seasons?
How have you not found it? How did you make 11 seasons out of not finding something on this tiny little fucking island?
It's not a big island.
No, there's only so many places you can look.
Well, let's hear about it.
Oh boy, the story of how they came to think of it is cool. I will say that.
Yeah.
And this is how. In 1795, 3 teenagers discovered an old hole in the ground on the island on the south shore of Nova Scotia. The area was rumored to be a pit stop for pirates. So the boys began to dig, hoping to unearth buried treasure, but instead, they struck layer after layer of buried timber. Yeah, from what I read, they would find, like, they would dig so far down, and then it would be like planks laid out like a floor almost, and they'd be like, well, it's got to be underneath here. And then they'd like dig it up and there'd be just more earth, so they'd keep digging and go so many feet down, and then they'd hit like a bottom of like another floor of timber. Like it was somebody dug and made, like, trees don't fall like this naturally.
Yeah.
So somebody did this on purpose. To what end?
Yes. Is the question.
Yeah, so they keep digging, hoping to find something, and they just keep finding more random...
Is it just like centuries and centuries of dirt and earth being moved around? Like, are they just like some old primitive roads that have just like...
I don't know. I mean, 1795.
I guess that's not... But before that...
Yeah, I don't know. Because it would be like 5 feet deep, and then they'd find these. So that's a lot of earth to kind of accumulate.
Like every few years.
Yeah.
Every few years, 5 feet of dirt.
Very bizarre in this one particular place to find that type of situation. So, though the trio never found any booty rocking everywhere. Booty. They did discover cryptic stone slates inscribed with unfamiliar symbols. A cipher, they believed, that, at least in their interpretation, promised a huge payday. And this is how the saga of the Oak Island Money Pit begun.
Yeah, it's a money pit, all right.
But it ended up being what we consider a money pit because there were so many people who came in to fund excavations and...
Yeah. And still nothing.
And they lost so much money trying to find
this
money.
What treasure?
Yeah.
Doubloons?
Gold doubloons, pirate, another treasure map that leads to another, the actual money.
Yeah.
That would be ironic. So this has beguiled countless explorers and excavators, including John Wayne and Franklin D. Roosevelt. And over the past 225 years, even bankrupting some, there have been falls, explosions, suffocations, and other accidents that have claimed the lives of at least 6 men who have tried to find the island's prize. But so far, explorers have spent millions on searching, and there has not been a single penny found.
Don't invest in that. Straight up.
They've
lost all their investment.
11, 12 seasons on this little island.
The History Channel has lost money on this.
That's saying something.
No, maybe they haven't lost money. I don't know.
Well, I mean, people are watching it, so they wouldn't be making it if people weren't watching.
I guess. It's just so funny. This has got to be the season.
This is it.
The guy who's really making the most off this is whoever cuts the commercials and the previews that hooks everybody into watching. He's the real winner in this. Okay. The next mystery is the pacifist assassination. And also let us know in the comments or email us which one of these is your favorites.
Oh, yes.
And which ones you knew, or which ones you want to hear more of, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or don't, whatever. But do, please. We love hearing from you.
We do.
Okay, so the pacifist assassination. Ooh, this is relevant.
Every time I tried to look this up, it kept giving me Pacific assassination. And I was like, wrong word. Because I guess there's a similar situation that happened in the Pacific.
Oh.
And it kept giving me German stuff. And I was like, nope, no, that's
Canadian. Please.
Not what I'm looking for.
At a little past 1 a.m. on October 28th, 1924, a train traveling the Kettle Valley Railway in BC lit up the sky with a giant fireball. Wow. 9 people were killed in the explosion, including the presumed assassination target, Peter Verigin, who's the spiritual leader of the Duke Harbor people, a Russian religious sect. Okay. Wait, what year was this? 1924. Okay. Since immigrating to Canada at the turn of the century, the group had faced resentment for their strict pacifism and communist ideals. There was an outcry when the government granted the Duke Harbors a religious exemption from World War I. Oh, so people were mad because they didn't have to fight.
Yeah.
By the time of his death, Verigin had built an extensive list of enemies. Potential suspect included a Duke Harbor splinter group, so a group who had splintered off the Duke Harbors, the federal government, the American Ku Klux Klan, and even Verigin's own son, Peter II, who assumed his father's leadership role. Okay. Despite a $2,000 reward, no charges were ever laid, and questions remain to this day, including whether it was an assassination at all. It's true that Verigin was a conscientious character, but
contentious. Sorry.
Yes.
Contentious.
It's true that Verigin was a contentious character, but some experts believe a leaky gas line or hastily packed dynamite in the suitcase of a local miner may have been responsible for the kapow.
I mean, that is probable.
But it's probably the loose dynamite that the miner packed.
I mean...
In 1924.
I mean...
Let's not give any... But I don't... What... I guess I would need to know. Do you know more about the Duke Harbors?
This one is actually one I'm not very familiar with.
Okay, well, let us know if you guys know. We want to hear. Maybe this is one we should dig more into.
Yeah, this is definitely...
Because I'd like to know more, why about the Duke Harbors and why people disliked them so much. Do I like them because the Ku Klux Klan didn't like them?
Right? I mean, and I think that's the only reason why I'm like,
is the enemy of my enemy my friend?
Because I feel like the Ku Klux Klan are not
that smart.
Exactly. They are not that intelligent. Yeah. So I don't think that they could pull an assassination of an entire, on a train like that off. Yeah. I mean, I didn't live in the 1920s, so I don't know what train security was like in a past life, perhaps. But I feel like dynamite is one of those things that was pretty popular back then.
Yeah, and I'm also surely we know the education system didn't do anyone any favors in the 20s.
It's still kind of not.
Still not. But I know they probably weren't teaching proper handling of explosives while traveling via locomotive anywhere.
Yeah, because all it takes is...
Why would a miner feel like he has to bring his dynamite? Oh, he's going to a new work site, maybe.
Yeah.
I gotta go blow something.
And I do know the slightest bit of moisture can make it unstable from the episode I did about Granger Taylor that you've recently talked about on social media.
Yes.
So, yeah, if you don't follow us on social media, be sure to follow us because Val always is posting all sorts of crazy stuff.
Always. So is Amanda. That's at Canadian Creepies and Down the Crooked Path. Thank you.
And at Radio Valerie.
You. Yeah, you. Still haunting the same old fast fashion? Time to dig up something better with Back from the Dead Goods, a Canadian small business where forgotten threads get a second life and sustainability meets spooky. This isn't just upcycled clothing. It's resurrected fashion with an eerie edge. Handpicked, reworked, and revived, every piece is as unique as a ghost story whispered at midnight. And because you're a part of the Canadian Creepies family, you get an exclusive deal. Use code Canadian Creepies at checkout for 10% off. Find them lurking on Instagram, Etsy, and Poshmark. Links are in the episode description. Give your wardrobe a second chance at life. If you dare. Hey creeps, it's Valerie here, and if you're anything like us, you love capturing a moment, whether it's spooky, sweet, or somewhere delightfully in between. Let me introduce you to our go-to for stunning shots, darkroom photography, based right here in the heart of the Niagara region. Mel, the brilliant eye behind the lens, is a lifestyle and creative photographer who brings a little bit of magic and maybe a touch of mystery to every session. She's got all her prices listed right on her website, super transparent, no tricks, and she runs killer seasonal specials around Mother's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and more. I'm telling you, her Halloween sessions, creepy perfection. So, if you're in the Niagara area and looking to capture memories that are hauntingly beautiful, hit up Mel at mel@darkroomphotography.ca or check out her work at www.darkroomphotography.ca. That's Darkroom Photography, where your memories come to life, even in the dark. Looking for your next obsession? The Creators Collective Podcasts is your gateway to the dark, the chilling, and the downright fascinating. We're a community of independent podcasts with one goal: to share the best in true crime, paranormal tales, folklore, and unexplained mysteries. Whether you crave cold cases that won't stay closed, haunted histories that refuse to be forgotten, or stories that make you sleep with the lights on, there's a show waiting for you in the collective. And when you join us, you're not just listening to one podcast. You're stepping into a world of creators who love this stuff as much as you do. Check out the Creators Collective today. Follow the link in our show notes to discover your next favorite podcast. We'll be waiting for you. All right, creeps, real quick. If you've got a Canadian business or project that you want to reach our spooky little corner of the podcast world, we've got ad space available on Canadian Creepies. And hey, if you're an artist, activist, podcast host, musician, writer, content creator, actor, or just someone with a strange or chilling story to tell, we'd love to hear from you too. We're always open to collaborations with folks who vibe with our creepy, curious little corner of Canada. Email us at CanadianCreepiesPodcast@gmail.com and let's get weird together. Let's take a moment during this break to talk about something that matters, something that doesn't get to be background noise. The Anishinaabe-Moan word, ni ki nagana, means we are all related, and we are. But relationship isn't just about words, it's about responsibility. Canadian author Naomi Klein once said, "It is not enough to say that we live on Indigenous land. We have to act as if we do." And one way to do that is by supporting Pay Your Rent, a grassroots mutual aid initiative that offers direct material support to Indigenous organizers across this land. It's not charity, it's rent. For those of us who aren't Indigenous to this place, it's a way to show up differently, to redistribute some of what's been taken. The Pay Your Rent Fund started as a one-time request for help in 2018 and grew into a nonprofit called Ni Ki Nagana. Your monthly or one-time donation can help provide food, hygiene supplies, housing support, and resources for Indigenous-led resistance and community care. So if you've ever said, "We're all related," ask yourself, are you being a good relative? Visit PayYourRent.ca and find out more about how you can be part of something better. Now, back to this case.
But yeah, I know from that because Granger Taylor was very knowledgeable about explosives and dynamites. And they found an exploded truck and they were like, "It was a mistake." And all of his friends were like, he was smarter than you.
Make that mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Granger Taylor episode is Down the Crooked Path, episode 5. Thank you.
Tuesday segments.
Yeah, it's a Tuesday segment. Okay, this one's perfect for you.
Yeah. Speaking of going into, UFO talk, the year of the UFO, which was 1967. Ooh. What is the X-Files?
Oh, I know. I did Twilight Zone.
So when that was out, we had like a 4-story duplex.
Yeah.
And as soon as it would come on, we had like a playroom downstairs, and I would sit upstairs and watch it with my sister. And as soon as that theme song would come on, my sister Kara would run upstairs and be like, "Gotta go to bed!" And would put herself to bed because it creeped her out so much. "I gotta go to bed! Gotta go to bed!" My parents would. Yeah. It is creepy.
It is creepy.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So this was a bumper year for Unsolved Canadian Mysteries.
1967.
Yep. So it was during the centenary of Confederation, and the country was visited apparently.
Hey, that's the last time the Leafs won the cup.
That's sad.
I think it was 1967.
I don't know anything about sports.
I shouldn't say that. I'm not a Leafs fan anymore. I gave it up. I'm going for the Jets now.
I know. John will say something, and I'll be like, "Go local sports team?" ?
That's what Kyle does. Yeah, it was 1967. So, okay. Not to get too conspiracy theorial about this, but you're telling me that the bumper year for all the UFOs in Canada was the same year the last time the Leafs won the cup? Coincidence? I think not.
So I'm getting that there was UFO abductions, or somebody on the the sports teams are aliens, they went back to the mothership.
That's right.
That's my weird conspiratorial sports take.
They went back to the mothership. Yes. That the Leafs were.
They were like, "We're job well done. We're dipping."
Yeah. I supported the Leafs for many years. I'll always be a Leafs fan, but go Jets. Please continue. And Blue Jays won yesterday.
They did. World Series. First World Series, right?
They didn't win the World Series.
They're going into the
World Series, yes.
They're going
but
into
I actually saw this interview that was...
John is all about this right now.
That was really funny. You got to appreciate it because it's really hard. It is. You have to, as like a Southern Ontarian or even just a Canadian, you really have to appreciate when any Canadian team gets into anything because these are American franchises, right?
Yeah.
Like the NHL is American, even though... Did we invent hockey? We invented basketball. So the...
Go Raptors. Go local sports sports team.
What's the NBL? Oh, the NBA.
I don't
the
know.
National Basketball League.
There's too many acronyms for me to keep them straight.
But we invented basketball, but the NBA is an American thing.
I'm pretty sure we did do hockey.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure.
So if we invented that, but the NHL is an American thing, there are more American teams. So you really have to appreciate and same with baseball, when any Canadian team gets in anywhere and like is going to make it far, it's just a good thing. And you don't have to watch, but okay, wait.
got passionate there about the sports. And I'm just like, shopping is sports for me. That's all I know.
This guy, I'm going to play this here because this was just a funny interview.
I'm not scared of LA. It's a great comment because the World Series has not been complete. Yes, go ahead. You want to chat? These guys, they're not Cardinals. They're not Dubs. They are Blue Jays. And we are here. And we are here now. And we are fighting for the World Series, baby. Come on.
We're not Cardinals. They're not Dubs.
Blue Jays.
They're not Cardinals. They're not Dubs. They're Blue Jays.
That's passion.
I'm saying, and you can get down with that. That's like, there's a love for it. I don't know. I feel connected.
I dig it.
Sidetracked. Okay. Also, I feel like we're doing like a little bit of Grimly thing. So shout out to Grimly if you hear this. Got a little sidetracked with our sports.
We are part of a group of indie podcasters called the Creators Collectives.
Yeah.
Check us out. There's a whole bunch of us all like-minded, and Grimly is a part of that. So go Grimly, go.
Go Grimly, go.
So, rational minds might dismiss the reports as a product of the times. There was anxiousness about the Cold War. People were excited about the Apollo era, and Canadians were gazing skywards more than ever. I have mentioned this guy on some of the Tuesday episodes, and I'm going to pronounce his name wrong right now, and I'm sorry. But Chris Rakowski.
That was close.
Yeah. And I know I have
I
know I have said it right before because somebody commented and was like, thank you for actually saying it right. And I was like, I tried really hard. He says that it was the perfect storm for unusual things to be reported. He was a science writer and the author of several books about UFO sightings. Any type of intrusion, people seeing things that they shouldn't be flying in the Canadian airspace was certainly of interest. So here are three of that year's most mystifying encounters. This one here we have done.
And I will find what episode it is right now.
I did do this one on one of the Tuesday segments. This one was really interesting. The Falcon Lake.
Yeah, so that's Down the Crooked Path, episode 8. We have a 31-minute episode on it called The Falcon Lake Incident. Mm-hmm. But you can give them a little lowdown on it if you want. So in May of that year being 1963, an amateur geologist named Stefan Mikula. In 1967?
67. Would I say 68?
You said 63.
I don't even know where I got that from.
It's like you paused to say it right and decided it was 63.
I think because I was thinking there's 3 stories that this is leading up to.
That makes sense. Okay, continue on.
Stefan Michalak, he was prospecting in the wilderness in the east of Winnipeg, and he encountered this silver saucer-shaped craft about 10 meters wide and 4 meters high, and it was grounded in the forest. But as he approached it, he heard like the whirls of engines coming from it as a door opened, and when he touched the vessel, it burned the fingertips of his gloves.
Oh my Lord.
And it shot him with like this burst of compressed air. And it scorched his shirt, his cap, his skin before rotating and zooming away. And he instantly became violently sick and like had to crawl through the forest to find his way like to the nearest hospital and was treated for like radiation burns. He later had recurring blackouts. The RCMP discovered a barren 15-foot circle containing radioactive soil where he reported seeing the UFO.
Wow.
Apparently he had like this really weird smell that came off of him too. I go into way more detail. Yeah, it was like...
It was stinky from the UFO.
Sour, almost like rotting skin because of the radiation poisoning. Yeah. And he couldn't wash it off. Like he would shower like 3 or 4 times a day. I go into way more detail about this in that episode, but yeah. Kananaskis. Thank you. I knew you would know. I'm terrible with pronunciation.
It's only because I listen to
I listen to like news podcasts too. So and it talks about a lot of them talk about like MPs from different areas too. So I'm sure it's just something I've heard in passing. Kananaskis, Alberta. But also, that all being said, I could be wrong. Also, shout out to whoever listens to us in Honolulu.
Oh,
yeah.
We like
out to you. Shout out.
So, out for a hike, two friends in July, a journalist and novelist, Warren Smith, spotted a shiny disc swiftly rising and falling overhead, and he took 2 photos of it before it disappeared in the distance, and then he mailed them to the Department of National Defense. After both Canadian and American intelligence studied the pictures, they concluded that he did indeed had seen 2 unidentified flying objects about 15 meters in diameter and 3 meters tall. The agencies added an official report that said if the story and photographs are hoaxes, then it's a very well prepared one.
Ooh.
That's one I haven't heard of. Wow. But in my cattle mutilation stories, which is I do dive into a little bit about aliens, not a whole lot, but Alberta is a very popular spot for UFO sightings. They actually have, I think in St. Paul, Alberta, they have like a UFO landing station. That will be an episode in the future.
Nice.
It's on my list. Woo! I will get to it.
Got a good list.
This one is also on my list. I haven't done it yet. But the Shag Harbor in Nova Scotia.
Oh, I've heard of this one.
I've heard of this one too. This one's cool. In late October.
Ooh, it's October again.
Ooh, spooky season. A lot of them are in October.
A lot of them are in October.
I discussed that in the cattle mutilation one as well.
That. Don't love it, but
yeah,
it works out because we're recording in October, and it seems like I planned this to be thematic for Halloween.
I love it. There were at least 11 witnesses in this tiny town, including RCMP officers, sailors, and pilots. Pilots flying nearby all reported seeing a large object with 4 flashing lights hovering above and then crashing into the harbor. Upon investigation, authorities found sulfurous yellow foam on the surface of the water, but after countless diving expeditions, including one as recently as 2018, they've turned up no wreckage or no evidence of anything unusual. I think they've thought there can be weird light phenomenons depending on the horizon and air pollution and stuff like that. So sometimes Jupiter can appear closer and it's moving, given some aerial distortions. So they've thought that. They've thought gas balls, kind of like will-o'-the-wisp type things, but
yeah.
Nobody knows.
Who knows?
Nobody knows.
We'll dig more into it. Okay, you want to do one more?
Sure.
Okay. We'll do one more.
Take it away, Val.
And then I actually have been meaning to read something that a listener sent in. She's an Indigenous woman, Anishinaabe, and she sent me a story to read. Yeah.
I love listener stories.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll get to it. But this first. The Silent Castaway. In 1863, a young boy stumbled upon a legless man in his 20s on the beach of Sandy Cove, Nova Scotia, and ran home to get help. Oh, just a man with no legs. Asked to share his identity, the mystery castaway grumbled something that sounded like Jerome. The name stuck, especially in the absence of any other communication or clues about a native language. For almost 50 years, Jerome relied on a government stipend and the goodwill of strangers, passing from house to house. He eventually settled in the village of Medellin, where one host family reportedly charged admission to anyone who wished to come and gawk at the mysterious local legend. Oh, that's awful.
He's a sideshow.
Yeah. If Jerome knew his own origin story, he never revealed it. Many Maritimers have theories. It came from the Maritimes. What do you think? That's another podcast in our collective.
And was Grimley Canadian?
No.
No, but it came from the Maritimes.
It came from the Maritimes as Canadian. You guys should check them out.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Chelsea and Evan. So many Maritimers have theories. He was a sailor who got the boot after a failed mutiny attempt. Maybe. An heir to a fortune.
Unlikely, I think.
A prisoner of pirates, or maybe likely the victim of a terrible head injury. He died over 100 years ago, sharing his expiration date with the sinking of the Titanic. So far, only one event inspired a movie.
That's
cold.
Statement.
What the hell, Reader's Digest?
That was vicious. Unnecessary.
Yeah, but I would like to know more about Jerome.
I think I discussed him briefly, if not a very similar case.
Sounds familiar.
Not on the podcast, but on my TikTok a few years ago, Down the Crooked Path TikTok. I think I did briefly touch on him, like a 2-minute video.
One moment, I'm just grabbing. Okay, so this is a story from the Mississauga First Nations archives. And this is from Shar. And it's called The Red Belly Sturgeon.
Ooh.
The following was told to Tom Daybutch by his grandfather, who lived approximately 80 years ago, passed on to generation. For many years during the month of May or June, when, what does that say? Meat. When meat and fish were available, the Indian people of the village prepared a feast and celebration. Can I say that? It's in the writing.
It's from an Indigenous person.
You're right. Okay. The feast consisted of fish, moose, deer, bear, and any other wild meat that was available.
That does sound like a feast.
Yeah. Fish, sturgeon, and pickerel could be easily obtained at that time of year. Pickerel from the Mississauga River and sturgeon by spearing at the Red Rock Falls. Red Rock Falls is about 23 miles west of the Mississauga Indian Reserve. The celebration started in the afternoon and lasted until sunrise the next morning. The celebration consisted of a powwow singing stories about Indian legends and their way of life from the distant past to the present. No drinking was allowed by anyone attending the feast and celebration. It was to be a time for happiness and laughter when the Indian people gathered together to eat and celebrate. Girls between the ages of 12 and 13 were never allowed to attend these functions, especially if wild meat was being served. The girls were hidden away in a camp where little teepees were erected for them. The girls were expected to prepare their own food and plan their recreation. Oh, okay. That sucks. It was a very strict rule, and the ruling prevailed for many years. It has only been within the past 40 or 50 years that this ruling has been relaxed. Early one morning, as the singing and laughter grew dim, the curiosity of the girls was aroused, and they decided to investigate the activities that had been going on all night. One girl from the group was picked to conduct a survey without being seen and report back to the girls at the teepee camp. Well, that's what girls do. That's exactly like what we would do.
I know, like, when my parents had friends over, I'd be like, I hang out too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When she returned, she told the following story. She said she had seen snakes, half human and half snake, going into the water. One of the creatures told her, "Tell the future generation to come, but to never eat the pink or red belly sturgeon. They are your ancestors." The girls related this story to the people of the villages, and from that time to the present, pink and red belly sturgeon is never eaten by the Indian people from the Mississauga village.
Interesting.
And that's the story of the red belly sturgeon.
I dig it.
Right?
It's been dug.
It's neat. I hate how I guess that loops. It's a nice. It loops back around to the beginning about how girls aren't allowed to do everything boys can do.
Oh, and we did not plan that. That's just serendipitous.
I really just we're having fun this episode.
We just winged it.
We did. So yeah, we're gonna do part 2 next week.
Sounds good. I'm down.
Yeah. We'll do part 2 next week. We've got some more riveting unsolved mysteries. Source was Reader's Digest.
And yeah, if you guys have any you would like us to do deep dives into, we both have our own lists going for Val's Thursday. She takes care of that. I've got my Tuesday list.
That's right.
But yeah, if you guys have stories, I'm always down to investigate weird, creepy shit.
Always. And Amanda's
So-
really good at that.
I like the research.
Yeah, I do too. And now I have more time for it. So we're very excited.
Yes.
So you can follow Amanda at Down the Crooked Path on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, anywhere.
All that jam.
You can follow me, Canadian Creepies, or Radio Valerie. If you can't find Canadian Creepies, follow Radio Valerie. It's the same content. Yeah.
Radio Valerie just has some more personal stuff. So you can see her puppy and her kitties and
Yeah.
her crazy boyfriend play music. And
That's right. And we have fun.
it's all fun.
It's a great time. But thanks for tuning in this week to Canadian Creepies. Oh, and if you want to email us, it's CanadianCreepiesPodcast@gmail.com.
Do it. We read everything.
We do read everything. And we love hearing from you. Happy Halloween soon.
Soon. Next week.
Next week is Halloween.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yay.
I'm so excited. Stay creepy.
And stay curious.
Yeah.
Bye.